Hi everyone and welcome to Billy Fitzgerald Golf. And tonight I want to talk about the downswing and impact, in particular what this right leg does. If you've followed my channel and my videos enough, you know I've talked about the left leg and how it pushes away. So again, how this left leg pushes away, and it pushes away from the club, and it gives me, you know, the space that my arms and golf club need. But what about the right leg and right hip? And again, if you've watched some of my videos, you know that I talk about we're trying to avoid that right hip going into the ball or that early extension, and trying to create some space for your arms and golf club to work. So let's get right into it of what this right leg does. We all know that the left leg's going to push away, but if we forget about the right leg and it's just floating there, it can be a deterrent more than an asset when we go into the strike. So if I set up to a ball here, and we're just going to start with some little chip shots. If I just take the club in my left hand here and I start swinging the club back and forth. Now, when I get right here, this left leg is going to push out of the way. Now, what does my right leg do? Well, I'd like my right leg to feel like it actually pushes down. So as my left leg pushes back, this right leg is going to feel like it pushes down, and it makes this thigh work in, and you can see that my heel is still on the ground. One of the biggest things that I see when I teach is people are up and out of the ground, especially with that right foot. Okay, the more I see this right foot up and out of the ground, the more this hip gets in the way of where my arms are trying to go. So when I swing back down and this left leg pushes this hip out of the way, now if I can feel like I push down in my heel, in particular this spike right here, this inside spike, and I almost feel like it's pushing down and in, what that does is it makes my hip work how it needs to work. So this right hip, when I'm swinging down, this leg again pushes back, and this foot is pushing down and in this way. So what this hip needs to do, this thigh is going to roll in, this hip is going to work down and in, but not into. See, the problem with getting your heel up and off the ground is how that hip works in particular. It's not so much of the foot being off the ground, but it's this hip in your body moving into the space. Now, we've all seen enough pictures where the toe, you know, with really good players, where the heel may be way up, but you've got to pay attention, you know, to what your hips are doing. For most amateurs, what I see is that when they're on their toe, they're absolutely invading the space where the arms should go. So again, if I'm on my toe, this hip is up and it's closer to the ball. If my left leg pushes back and I feel how I push down with this foot, and I feel it in that inside spike, and I actually feel it twisting, and I feel pressure go down into it, you can almost see that it almost pushes my hip back. So if I were just to make some little practice swings, it actually almost pushes my hip back, so I really have a lot of room for my arms to swing. So if we just made a couple chip shots, and I feel my left leg push my hip out of the way, and now I'm going to feel my right foot push down and almost twist in, which makes my thigh roll in, which makes my hip work correctly. You want you to feel like your hip works down and in, not up and into the ball. So if we just hit some little chip shots, left leg pushes away, and this is how I would start. Again, just some little chip shots, and feel your left leg push away and your right foot work down and in. Now I hit that right in the center of the face, and it bottomed out correctly, and it was you know, no problem. I felt a lot of room where my arms are. So that's how I would start, is just make some little chip shots. Get your hands on there right. Feel your left leg push away and this right foot push down and in on the inside part of that spike. Down and in, down and in. You'll feel your thigh and knee and everything go down and in. So again, another one, just a little one, left leg pushes back. And you can see what that does now is that I've got all this room in front of me, and it makes the face stable. So this left hip working, and I've got all my arms or I've got my arms working in front of me. Now this left hip works and the face of the club is going left and it's square. The problem when we get, again, is that when we get on our toe and your hip works up and into the ball, see, now all of a sudden my body's got to stop because the face gets back here. If I swing back, my left leg pushes back and I go down and in, you can see how this pushes back. It puts the club right in front of me, and now I can just keep rotating. So I've got these plates out here from rotexmotion.com, and it gives me the correct feeling of what I want to feel. So if I get on these plates again, and obviously my feet can work in their hip socket, and that's what your femur bone, your leg bone is doing when your foot is working down and in. Your femur is actually working in its hip socket. So if I just, again, made a chip shot, right? So what it would feel like is this. My foot is pushing down and in, down and in. So down and in. See, now my arms can swing down. So if I get off those again, and I make a little chip shot, left leg pushes back, down and in. It feels exactly how those feel. So I swing back, left leg pushes back, down and in. And those balls ended up exactly in the same point, and there was I didn't feel like anything was in the way. But what I did feel was, again, this left foot was pushing back, and this is working down and in. So once you have some success with hitting some of those shots, we'll go to a bigger swing. We don't have to go very fast. So again, get back on my Rotex motion plates. So I swing back. All we're doing is feeling. So when I swing back, I can feel my right foot pushing down and in. So you can see my hip's not going too far. It's definitely not going into, but my thigh is actually working more than my hip. Again, if you just swing back and you just feel like your left leg goes, right, and this right leg is floating, this hip can go directly into the ball. So we've got to be careful that we don't talk about the left leg too much, but how they work together. This left leg is pushing back, and this right foot is working down and in. So if I just make some slower swings so you can see the detail in this. So again, when I swing back, this left leg pushes back, and this works down and in. You can almost see it almost feels like my right hip works back, and it puts my arms right in front of me, and now I can just keep going. So we'll hit a little one. So in transition, my left leg pushes back, my right foot is going to feel like it works down and in a little more, and it gets the club right out in front of me. So what you'll tend to see there is that as my left leg pushes back and this works down and in, when I hit, I'm in the ground. I want to be in the ground when I hit my golf ball. I don't want to feel like I'm up on my toes and moving into it and way out of the ground. I definitely want to feel this foot's working down and in, this is working back, and I feel really down into the ground, so I'm not working up and into the ball. We'll hit one more. Get back on my plates real quick. Swing back. Feel my hips stay closed, and I feel my feet work down and in. And I can feel this hip socket almost push back. Make a little practice swing. Back, my left leg pushes back. My right leg goes down and in. I feel this push back. Now I got all this room for the club to swing down in front of me. Hit one more. So, as far as your right leg is concerned, as your left leg pushes back in transition, my left leg pushes back to my right, this leg is pushing down, and I feel this. So it pushes my hip back, which pulls my arms down, and it pulls me right into impact. Start small and then work your way up. Start with just some little wedges, then start with some slower motion swings, and then finally add some speed. But you won't believe how much room is in front of you with your arms and how solid the strike is. So give this a try. I hope it helps you, and it's, you know, it's something that I see every single day of people trying to provide power with their right side, and they're so quick to get off their right side. You want to be in the ground, stay in the ground, not out of it. I know this is going to help a whole bunch of people and have a lot more fun at golf. Hi everyone, like and subscribe to my channel, Billy Fitzgerald Golf, for all tips on golf. If you'd like a live lesson or want to send me a message, visit me at billyfitzgeraldgolf.com.